Yo guys, what's up? It's Enraged here. Many of you been asking for it, so I've decided to make my very own rank specific draft guide. This video is going to cover how to draft specifically for ranked. So if you're looking to hit pro rank, this video is for you because I'm going to go over rank specific things which will not be applied to many other draft instances. So without further ado, let's go. Alright, the first map we have here is Parallel Plays. This is not a competitive map, but it's in the rank pool. We have last pick, this means the other team picks first. The common things to do are ban the best brawlers. However, it's ranked. I don't know what my teammates are going to do. I can give them some suggestions for bans, but people in rank, they don't often try. So I'll go here, I'll suggest Colette, she's the best brawler, she needs to be banned, and I'll do Niger and Damien too. However, they don't try and they're completely unresponsive, so you need to ban Colette if the other team has first pick. She's by far the best brawler in the game. Do not trust your teammates in ranked. If they have first pick and you have to ban and your teammates haven't banned Colette and it's not looking like they will, you need to make sure you're the one to do it, because remember, ranked is not competitive. You don't have 6 of the best players in the world in the lobby. You have you, 2 complete randoms, and you're against 3 random enemies. This is why ranked is much harder to draft than in competitive sometimes. Your teammates, they might not have every brawler maxed. They might ignore you. They might not want to pick some brawler. They might not try. Like, there's way too many factors which change in ranked. Anyways, if we analyze this draft, you can see the other team went Lumi 1, which is a pretty good control brawler. We went Meeple and Mortis. Mortis is good for the zone on parallel plays. But my teammate suggested me Trunks. But you have to remember, I know that I'm better than all these players in the lobby. You guys, you have to figure out where you think you rank skill-wise in the lobby. If you're highest elo, then you might think, wow, I'm the best in the lobby. If you're the best, you need to pick a brawler which helps you win. You want to be the one on the carry brawler. You do not want to be the support. I know I cannot play Trunks very well. However, I know into this with Buzz, I can do much more. So yes, we won this game because Buzz has 2 good matchups and it's also my comfort brawler. Even if Trunks technically would have been better, it's not always specifically about the draft. You need to make sure that you're on a comfortable brawler which you can play well. You will play a brawler which you're comfortable on 5 times better than a brawler you never played before, and this is a really important thing to take into account when drafting and ranked, because often you'll have bad randoms and you need to really put in a shift. The next map we'll look at is Hot Potato. This is one of my favorite heist maps because it really digs at the basics of heist. You need damage on this map. When we have first pick, we want to ban the annoying last pick brawlers. Some example of annoying last pick brawlers are brawlers which need specific counters. For example, Shade. The only things that counter Shade are things that can break walls or deal damage inside walls, which are very rare. So Shade is always a good thing to ban with last pick. Or first pick, sorry. As you can see, my one teammate bans Shelly, and the other one bans Dynamite by autoban. This shows you that ranked is just troll. I suggest him Colt because I think Colt is the best first pick, but he's flashing Edgar. What you have to realize is your randoms are human beings too. If he's flashing Edgar, it means he wants to pick Edgar. In my eyes, the difference between Edgar and Colt as a pick in draft is less than the difference in gameplay which he will display if he's more comfortable on Edgar than he is on Colt. You have to realize these people can be bad randoms, but bad randoms are not always bad. You need to make your bad randoms good, and there are certain ways to do that. You have to let them be comfortable with what they want. If you think that you could carry them and you just don't want them to throw, then let them do what they want and try tailor towards them. However, there are obviously exceptions. You do not want your randoms to pick brawlers which completely suck. And if they're on a brawler which you know will not work at all, like a brawler which does no damage in heist, then spam them something else. There's another thing to account for in ranked, and that is hackers. When another team picks a random brawler like Piers on Hot Potato, which you don't often see, you need to be cautious. This normally means that they're a hacker. Brawlers like Piers and B on closed maps are only picked by hackers 99% of the time. When you face a hacker, you do not want the map to be open. You cannot hit them and you cannot dodge them. So that's why I take the roughs so that they cannot take the wall break off us. This means the map will likely not be open. You'll see my random asks to swap with me. If you're comfortable in the brawler they're swapping with, accept the swap. Even if you think you're slightly better at the other brawler, it is always worth it. The random might be terrible at the brawler they're on. You don't want to risk it. You know more about yourself than you know about them, so you want to cater towards your randoms and try swap with them and make the game as easy as possible for you so then you cannot get bad randoms. This is the easiest way to reach pro. 99% of people cannot reach pro because of bad randoms. This is not a fundamental issue which you can fix by drafting better, but you have to account for your randoms in draft and in the pick and ban phase. This was another convincing win for us because we had the two best Heist brawlers. There's lots of things to remember when drafting, but the main things to remember are pick the best brawlers for the modes. In Heist, you want damage, in Hot Zone control, and Brawl Ball goal scorers. I've hit almost top 1 in the world now with this elo, and I'm pushing in pro just off these easy tips. Knockout is a very interesting mode to draft in ranked. Knockout is very hard to play. You can get tilted very easily by your teammates going in and dying. In my opinion, the easiest thing to do in Knockout is ban the annoying brawlers. Kit, Damien, Niger are all really annoying brawlers to face and are really easy for your randoms to die to these brawlers because they have so much outplay potential. For me, in Knockout, I like to let my randoms pick what they want. If the aim of the game is to die and get kills, 99% of the time, I think my teammates will play better on brawlers they're comfortable with. I do not suggest brawlers often in knockout. However, if you were to, a Gold Arm Gulch first pick, which would be nice, is Jean. They banned it and they banned the Colette, which makes sense because they're two very good first picks. Next up is Leon. The invisibility turret from Leon in knockout is absolutely broken as you can catch people off guard and get really easy kills. Piz is strong too, however it requires a lot of skill, and as I've already stated in this video, you don't want to make your life harder for yourself and your randoms in ranked, and you don't want to be picking high skill cap things. If you see brawlers like Angelo, you need to remember they do low damage. Angelo and Ruffs are both squishy control brawlers. Because of this, you want to pick something aggressive. Examples could be Fang, Mortis, Mina, or Leon. I see my teammate on the Brock, and I tried to think of something to suggest him instead in time, but he picks Brock anyways. Brock isn't the worst pick because it opens for our peers, but now that eliminates me from going Mortis and Mina, because they won't be strong on the open map. You need to remember the draft is not just about your pick, but also what your teammates have. My teammate has a wall break. I want to play a brawler with range. If I play a close range brawler and he has a wall break, we don't synergize well because if he opens the map, I'm weak. And if he doesn't open the map, what's the point in picking the wall break? Always take into account everything for draft. They last pick Edgar, which could be scary, but if we have wall break, it should be fine as we have a nice all-rounded comp. This game was close because Edgar is surprisingly strong on Gold Arm Gulch. He might be a secret pick. It did go to round 3, but in the end, it was too easy for me to get kills at the start with my Invis turret. But remember, Edgar can cook in Knockout and Bounty just because he passively charges the Hypercharge. We're now 3 wins into Pro and we're gaining Elo really fast, so we're going to keep on using these tips and see what happens. I thought I'd show you guys this game because it's a really niche map that has only just come into ranked. The obvious best brawlers on this map are Ali, Angelo, and Eve. This is because of the water. Water covers the whole middle of the map, and if you have one of these brawlers into a close range character, you are guaranteed to win in the endgame. My teammates ban Kit and Edgar, which I like because they're two very spammy brawlers. I ban Niger a lot in ranked because I feel like it's very easy to play against bad players, so if one of my randoms are weak and the other team has Niger, we might be screwed over. You need to take into account things like this, and remember that even if you think you could first pick Niger, if your teammate doesn't have Niger, you're in a bad position. My teammate goes Angelo, which in my opinion is the best first pick for this map. It covers us for range, for snipers, it's fine into aggros, and it can travel over the water for all the control on the map. They've banned pretty similar, but they've banned Crow and Colette. This means that they ban the tank counters and aggression counters. This means we're going to see aggression from them. They instantly lock Leon and Damien. Leon is very good because the invisibility turret can make him travel fast, and Damien is an issue. We basically just need an anti-tank. As I think what to suggest my teammate, I'm thinking of brawlers like Charlie and Otis. He flashes Bull, which is very bad, but thankfully he changed it to Daryl. Daryl is not much better, but it gives us HP. At first I was thinking Jean, because Jean can feed super off these brawlers. You need to remember playing into tanks means you are guaranteed to get your super, and a Jean pull is a free kill. However, Jean and Angela are both very weak, and we will die if the other team goes in. This is why I decided to choose Otis, because Otis is a tank counter with a mute. The mute will cancel any aggression from the other team. As they have two aggressive brawlers which thrive close range, Otis completely shuts this down. I also outrange both of them, and Otis is a very strong counter for Leon because he has Gadget for the turret. Leon's only strength in the meta right now, and only thing which is carrying him, is the invisibility turret. However, my Gadget can take it out, and it is a very good exchange for us. They go Charlie, which is a nice last pick with 3 matchups, and counters Daryl, but the Damien really has no business playing this game. I decided to show you guys a tiny bit of gameplay clip just to show you how strong Otis is into all these brawlers. They tried to get a kill on my teammate, but as they need to go close, I pop my hypercharge and it's instantly a free kill. You need to remember, in knockout, utility is very important. Hypercharge, gadgets, and supers are free kills and free, how do you say this? Survival. If you're about to die but you have an Angelo jump, that gadget will save you. So you need to make sure that you're farming these off the tanks and saving them for the good moments. This is another free win for us, and I get 130k damage with Otis because my matchup is very strong. I'm now almost 11,500 elo, and the main way I've achieved these is remembering the 5 key tips. Ranked is not competitive. There are no global bans. You need to remember everything is open. Your ranked randoms, they're randoms. They're bad. You cannot rely on your ranked randoms to help you win the game. Your ranked randoms will not try. You cannot flash them all the time. They might not ban what you want, so you need to account for that and make sure that the most optimal thing is banned every time. Your ranked randoms are sometimes better than you. You do want to figure out when your randoms are better or worse than you. One easy way to do this is by seeing if they're higher or lower elo than you. The elo of the lobby is dictated by who picks first. The lowest person in the lobby will pick first, and the highest person will pick last. If you're the first pick and you're not confident, then maybe go a support brawler and try help your higher elo teammates carry the game easier. If you're in higher ranks, you might recognize the players more, and then you'll see their names and you'll be able to figure out if they're good or bad players. And lastly, let your randoms do what they want and try keep them on comfort. If you spam suggest your randoms an anti-tank and they don't want to play an anti-tank and they're not good at it, they might pick Chester, and it might be the best brawler for draft. But if they play it horribly and go 0-10, you're not going to win the game, so that won't work for you. So you need to remember, ranked is weird and it's not the same as competitive. So drafting in ranked is not the same as drafting everywhere else. You need to account for bad plays, bad randoms, bad Wi-Fi, trolling, hackers, and everything. The easiest way to do this is to keep things in your control. Anyways, that's it for this rank guide. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it. I can make guides for different tournaments like BSC with global bans or Matcherino tournaments. Just let me know in the comments. And yeah, in a bit guys.